Let me ask you something and answer it honestly. Have you ever noticed this? She says one thing, then does the exact opposite. She says she values honesty. She says she wants something serious. She says she appreciates nice guys. And you listen. You respect her words, you take them seriously, and somehow you still lose. You don't lose loudly. You lose quietly. You lose through distance, through mixed signals, through the slow realization that her actions never matched the story she told you. And the worst part? You start blaming yourself. You think you misunderstood. You think you didn't communicate well enough. You think if you just listened harder, clarified more, explained yourself better, things would change. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Women don't speak to reveal truth. They speak to protect themselves. And until you understand that, her words will keep you confused, while her behavior tells the truth you're avoiding. In this video, I want to show you why trusting what women say traps men and why watching what they do gives you absolute clarity. Because words are social. Actions are biological, and biology never lies. Let's start by removing the mask. Point 1. Words are image, actions are instinct. Language is a mask. Language is not neutral. It's a social tool. And women from a very early age are trained to use language to maintain harmony, avoid conflict, and protect their image. This doesn't make women deceptive. It makes them socially intelligent. But this is where men make a fatal mistake. Men assume words equal truth. Women use words to describe who they want to be seen as. So when she says, I want a nice guy, I value honesty, I just want something real, most men hear desire. What she's actually doing is signaling identity. She's describing her self-image, not her instinct. Because here's the reality no one tells you. Attraction doesn't come from values. It comes from nervous system response, and her nervous system doesn't speak English. It speaks behavior. That's why you see this contradiction everywhere. She says she hates drama, but gravitates towards emotional chaos. She says she wants stability, but gets bored when everything is predictable. She says she wants kindness, but feels nothing when kindness has no edge. And this confuses men because they take her words literally. Here's the insight that changes everything. Her words describe who she wants to be. Her actions reveal who she actually is. Words protect image. Actions expose instinct. Once you understand that, you stop arguing with what she said and start observing what she repeats. And now we go one layer deeper into why her words can feel honest in the moment and still mean nothing later. But we'll stop here. Before we continue, let me ask you something. Have you ever trusted what she said, even when her behavior quietly disagreed? Comment below. If this already gave you clarity, like the video and subscribe. Now here's where most men get trapped. They say, but she meant what she said. And you're right, she did, at that moment. But that's the part you don't understand yet. Point 2. Emotional language is fluid, not fixed. She's speaking how she feels now, not what she'll do later. Women don't speak from strategy. They speak from state, from emotion, from mood, from how the moment feels in her body. When she says, I'm not ready for a relationship, most men hear a logical boundary. What it actually is a snapshot, a description of her emotional temperature right now. That's why you've seen this happen before. She tells you she doesn't want anything serious. You respect it. You wait, you stay consistent, and then, a few weeks later, she's suddenly in a relationship with someone else, and you think, she lied to me. No, she didn't lie. Her emotions moved. Men make the mistake of treating female language like a contract, but emotional language is not a promise. It's a weather report, and weather changes. This is why arguing with her words never works. You can pull screenshots, you can remind her of what she said, you can point out the contradiction. It won't matter. Because she's not betraying logic, she's following feeling. Here's the reframe that frees you. She didn't betray her words, she outgrew the emotion that produced them. Once you understand this, you stop expecting consistency from speech and start looking for consistency in behavior. Which brings us to the men who suffer the most from this misunderstanding. Point 3. The nice guy loses because he trusts words. Listening harder doesn't create attraction. Let me tell you a story you already recognize. There's a guy, he listens, he's patient, he's respectful. He takes her words seriously. When she's confused, he waits. When she needs space, he gives it. When she vents, he absorbs it. He believes that if he just stays kind, stable, and understanding, eventually she'll see his value. And she does. She trusts him, she thanks him, she feels safe with him, but she doesn't choose him. Why? Because attraction isn't built on comprehension, it's built on polarity. The nice guy keeps listening harder, thinking understanding will turn into desire. But understanding without tension feels flat, predictable, emotionally neutral, and neutrality kills attraction. Here's the twist most men don't want to hear. She doesn't reject him because he's bad. She rejects him because he's emotionally invisible. There's no pull, no contrast, no gravity. He becomes emotional background music. Comfortable, familiar, easy to ignore. And the tragedy is this. He did exactly what she said she wanted, which proves the point of this entire video. Listening to words without watching behavior is how good men lose. Now let's talk about what actually creates desire and why comfort alone never will. Point 4. Attraction is built on tension, not comfort. Safety creates trust. Tension creates desire. Here's a distinction that we'll see every interaction. Trust and attraction are not the same thing. Trust comes from safety. Attraction comes from polarity. When a man is too predictable, too agreeable, too available, the emotional system in a woman relaxes, and relaxed nervous systems don't crave. This is why the so-called bad boy pattern exists, not because women love chaos, but because autonomy creates tension. The bad boy doesn't orbit. He doesn't over-explain. He doesn't seek approval. He moves independently. And that unpredictability keeps her emotional brain awake. Meanwhile, the nice guy is always there. Always responsive, always accommodating, which feels safe, but not stimulating. Here's the painful insight. She doesn't crave comfort. She craves emotional gravity. She wants to feel pulled, not patted. And the moment you understand this, you stop trying to be more pleasing and start becoming more grounded. Because attraction is not built by saying the right things. It's built by being something her emotions respond to. And we're not done yet. In the final part, we'll expose the biggest misunderstanding of all. Why women don't give their best to the men who love them most, but to the men they respect. Before we continue, pause. Which part of this did you recognize immediately? Not intellectually, but emotionally. Comment below. If this is breaking patterns you've lived through, like the video and share it. If you've stayed with me this far, you should feel something different now. Not anger, not resentment, relief. Because confusion only exists when you're listening to the wrong signal. And the final layer ties everything together. Point 5. The good girl switch only flips with respect. Women give more to men they admire. Here's something most men never hear, and almost no one explains correctly. Women don't decide to give more. They respond. When a woman truly respects a man, her behavior softens automatically. She becomes more attentive, more nurturing, more emotionally invested. Not because she's trying to impress him, but because her nervous system feels safe and attracted. This is the good girl switch, and it doesn't flip from kindness. It flips from respect. You'll see it in what she does, without being asked. She cooks, she checks in, she remembers your needs. She invests emotionally, and none of it feels forced, because admiration creates willingness. This is why begging never works, why explaining never works. Why trying harder never works. Desire doesn't respond to effort. It responds to stature. And here's the line that changes everything. A woman doesn't submit to love. She submits to respect. Not control, not dominance, respect. The kind that comes from boundaries, direction, and self-possession. Now here's the revelation that frees men from years of self-doubt. Women don't manipulate men. Men manipulate themselves by ignoring evidence. You saw the patterns. You felt the inconsistency. You noticed the mismatch. But you trusted words because words were comforting. And you ignored behavior because behavior was inconvenient. Words confuse you. Patterns free you. Once you accept that, everything changes. You stop debating meaning. You stop chasing explanations. You stop asking why. Instead, you observe consistency. Investment, reaction when you pull back, those three things never lie. Let's strip these down to its core. Words are social. They protect image. Actions are biological. They reveal desire. Attraction is built on polarity and tension, not agreement. And a woman gives her best self to the man she respects, not the man who tries hardest. So here's the lesson that ends confusion. Stop asking what she means. Start watching what she repeats, because repetition reveals truth. If this video gave you clarity, like and subscribe. Comment below, what action told you the truth faster than words ever did? And share this with a man who's still trusting promises instead of patterns. Clarity changes everything.